Sometimes I like to include text on my 3D prints, and I don't have a dual extruder printer, and it's not always feasible to print flat on the print bed where you'd have the option to change out the filament during the print so that you could have a different color text. So I looked into a few different options. One of them, which I really liked initially, was filling the text with a different color of silicone. It goes on really quick and easy. It's easy to clean up and doesn't damage the surface of the print, but it's not very durable. So if it's going to see any sort of abrasion, there's a good chance that the letters will eventually pull out. So then I went down the road of painting, initially using a paintbrush and then a syringe, which I found to be superior in terms of control and just ease of use. But for some projects, I needed to use a white filament so that the LED lights inside of the device could be seen from the outside. To paint text on, I wanted to use black paint, but I had issues with black paint bleeding within the print. I tried to seal it using initially a clear coat spray paint. I also tried out super glue, and then eventually I found this acrylic-based pouring fluid, which I've been using ever since. But I wanted to do a side-by-side comparison of prints in two orientations, so I designed these little test pieces and printed them out. If I were to paint these right now, you would see in between the layer lines some bleeding of that paint. I'm going to do one test on each with nothing, so that'll be the control. I'll do one test with super glue, I'll do one test with this pouring fluid, and I'll do one test with this clear coat spray paint. If you are going to use super glue, I would recommend using the original super glue and not the gel, because you want it to soak into the voids to fill those rather than just filling up the letters. So next we'll do this pouring fluid. It dries clear, dries pretty quickly, and is super easy to apply. I end up just using a brush to apply it. And the final test we'll do with our spray paint clear coat. I'll give that some time to dry, and then I'll come back and paint them. Okay, so it's been about an hour since we did this. The spray paint is dry, the pouring fluid is also dry, but the super glue is still wet. So we're going to have to wait a bit longer before we can start painting. So we're here 2 hours after the initial treatment, and the super glue is still wet. So I'm going to try to dab some of that glue out of there with this paper towel. You can see it's saturating that paper towel. So I'll be painting these with some black acrylic paint in a syringe, and the paint has been thinned so it flows a little bit more easily. I was able to get these syringes super cheap from my local pharmacy. I usually cut the tip of the needle off just so I don't stab myself with it, and it also prevents it from getting caught on the print quite as easily. When you're filling the syringe, it's important to avoid getting any air in there because it adds some sponginess to it, and it can cause the paint to continue flowing even after you've stopped pushing on the plunger if there's a bit of pressure built up in there. That's one coat of black paint on all of them. The super glue definitely wasn't dry. You can see up here on the vertically printed one that it's bleeding through the untreated one. You can also see that there's a slight yellowing on this one compared with the rest of them. We're going to let all this dry, and then we'll do some sanding and scraping, and we'll make a comparison of the time spent for preparation and the time spent for cleanup afterwards. The other thing that we should check is bleeding within the print. There is definitely bleeding in this one. This will be more evident after we clean up the front. But you can see between with and nothing, there's some bleeding across there. You can see it there as well, all around test, and it actually wraps around the back side here. That is paint that bled within the print. And this could be because of my printer, just that I have voids in there, but with any FDM printer, you're going to have some sort of gaps in there. So the next thing we're going to do is clean these up and see which one takes longer to clean up, and then compare the final results as well. So I like to use a razor blade, and I just kind of scrape off the top. Versus sanding, you generate a bit more heat with sanding, and you can get to the melting point, which isn't very high of the PLA, and then you start like messing with the surface a bit more. And of course, scraping with a blade, you're not going to leave a perfect surface finish, and if I want it to look good after I finish scraping, then I'll go back and do the whole thing with some sandpaper and then get a more consistent finish. But yeah, to be able to clean these exclusively with sandpaper, you're going to have to remove a decent bit of material. Alright, so I'm going to call that good enough. So now we can see even more clearly that bleeding between the layer lines within the print itself. So there's some down here, around the word clear, around the word spray, and also around the test, wrapping around the back. Pouring fluid and super glue are both nice and clean, are controlled with no sealant. Has some bleeding, especially around test, and again it bleeds around the back. And without the light, it's not super evident, but on some prints it's better than others, or worse than others. Here it's not super evident, but it is there and it is noticeable. So now I'm going to do the one that was printed flat, and there's not really so much or really any bleeding within the print here. On any of them. I have had it where a print in this orientation, text in this orientation, has bled behind the text within the print itself and has been super noticeable. But so yeah, I'll clean these up, then we can look at the numbers. That was much easier to clean up than the one in the vertical orientation. Plus, no bleeding in this one. Here you can see a good example of a bit of that pouring fluid on the surface. Right about here it transitions from pouring fluid on the left, where it's a bit shiny, to no pouring fluid on the right. It's a bit less shiny. I mean, you could either scrape that again with the razor blade. Let's see. So that has evened it out a decent bit, and that took like 2 seconds. Or you could sand it as well. A bit of sandpaper, take care of that. So here we go, final result. They're all pretty comparable in terms of remaining paint. This print orientation is definitely a lot easier to clean up. So if you can print flat on the print bed. But yeah, let's take a look at the numbers and do a little comparison. The results are in, and I want to preface this by saying this is not a perfect test, and I recognize that. I did consider the number of letters and took an average for that, and so nothing, 7 letters plus 8 letters from test width. In terms of application, the control, not applying any sealant, was of course the fastest, and then pouring fluid was second. Super glue was pretty slow. The bottle that I used was relatively stiff, and so that made it hard for applying that. And then the spray clear coat, most of that time was spent like taping off the print. You wouldn't necessarily need to do that in every case though. So in terms of post-processing, super glue was actually surprising to me at least, the fastest, took the least amount of time for both the vertical and flat. And you can see the control on vertically printed took a ton of time to clean up because that paint just seeped into every little layer line, and yeah, it took a while to clean up. So if you look at this on average, the total time per letter was the least for pouring fluid and the most for the control. Spray clear coat coming in a close second. Other factors to consider are the smell. The spray clear coat had a really strong smell, spray paint obviously. The control, applying nothing, had no smell, and pouring fluid also had no smell. The super glue did have a bit of a smell, which I don't normally notice with super glue. And then finally, comparing cost, the control, adding nothing, costs nothing. Pouring fluid is so cheap and you use very little. Super glue, if I had used one of those small bottles that costs like $1 or €1, it might have used that entire bottle for that print. So not super cheap. And same thing with the spray clear coat, because there's a lot of waste. You can end up going through a can pretty quick, I think. Depending on how much you're doing, and it's $7 or something per can. The other factor is whether the paint bled within the print or not, and without any sort of sealant, the control paint did bleed, and also with the spray clear coat, the paint did bleed within the print, and if it's inside, no amount of sanding is going to take that off. Painting a white paint on top is also, in my opinion, not an option. And so as far as I see it, if it's visible, either you live with it or you reprint. It's not worth the risk to me to try painting, especially black paint on a white print without sealing beforehand. And it doesn't take that long with the pouring fluid. It dries relatively quickly. So in the end, I will continue using pouring fluid to seal the prints. It was the fastest per letter and also had no smell, and even though it wasn't the cheapest, the time savings makes it worth it for sure. There are all kinds of methods for painting embossed text on 3D prints. Like I mentioned at the beginning, I've used silicone before. I've also used hot glue. I've seen others using melted crayon wax. If you have a method that works for you, I'd love to hear about it. If you have some feedback on the method that I showed today, also love to hear about that in the comments. And yeah, thanks for watching.